Good afternoon, Abraham. Thank you so much for your contribution to my life. My question is around my photography that I do. I love it. I manifest a tremendous amount of money from it. I have joy in it. I believe I give joy to others through it. And I'm just going. I'm having a good time. And I feel this really strong vibration going through me, going through me, going through me. And as I emanate it in my business, in my retail space, I think people just don't know what to do with it at times because it's a lot of energy. And I'm really happy at what I do. And I'm manifesting, and I'm in a retail space where everyone around me except for 2 people are having difficulty with money. They're not getting the customers they want. There's not a lot of joy. And here I am experiencing everything they want. And so I'm asking you, what would you, so that I can be of, I want to say service, but so that I can be in a place to not offend them, threaten them.
Well, if that's your goal, if your goal is to not offend them, then you have to become as miserable as they are.
I don't want that. Okay.
Then ask another question, because that's the only answer to that question.
Okay.
In other words, if someone, the old saying that misery loves company, what that is about is if someone has a desire for something, abundance in this case, and they're not living it, and as they see you living it, it makes them feel bad. What that means is they've established a vibration that is so apart from what they're asking for that every time they see evidence of what they're asking for, it hurts them. It's because it's a vibrational discord.
Yeah.
So in answer to your question, if you were really wanting to not offend them, then that means you have to bring your experience right down to their level so that they can look at you and see your suffering and not be bothered by it.
So how do I establish a community or a friendship or a...
You can't, because you cannot.
But
what you're saying is, how can I defy law of attraction? How can I be vibrationally different from them, and how can we be together? We say you can't.
Okay.
You set your tone, they set their tone, and the law of attraction will bring you together. And so you say, well, I don't have that much in common with them. And we say, law of attraction is telling you that. In other words, law of attraction is sorting it out. Now, it'd be nice if it was that simple, but what happens is you have a variety of intentions. In other words, you have an intention to be prosperous. You also have an intention to be a good friend, or you have an intention to help someone get to a better feeling place. And so you may have some intentions that may keep... In other words, it's a trap, isn't it?
It is.
If you have someone in your life who you adore on the one hand, but they are living a life that is reprehensible to you on the other hand, and in order to have the part of them that you adore, it feels like you have to have the part of them that is reprehensible at the same time.
Yes.
And we say, depends on what a good selective sifter you are. In other words, if you had the ability to only focus on the aspects of them that you want to touch you, then they would show only those parts to you. But this idea of service that you were talking about takes many of you down a wild goose chase, because in that attitude of service, you have to look right at their problem, and when you look at their problem, you vibrate there. And then you see, the discord that your customers are feeling is not because you're vibrating in this pure positive place and the rest of the world isn't. It's because you have contradiction within your own energy stream. Now hear this. This is really, really, really going to help you.
Okay.
Friends, are you getting the sense that we are not giving you the assignment of lining up the energy of the planet? Do you get it? That we are not assigning to you that you get everybody in that shopping center vibrating on the same wavelength. But do you get it when we say it's not your work to even align your energy with one other person? It's your work to align the energy within you, to align the energy within you. To align when you meet someone who's in alignment with themselves, they're like fresh air to you.
Right.
In other words, they don't even have to want what you want. You see,
And I'm getting better at that. I do understand what you're saying, and I resonate with that, and I'm having fun with that right now. There's still a sadness that comes up every once in a while.
Well, you can't feel sadness and be in vibrational harmony with your source at the same time.
Okay.
So what you're saying to us is, from time to time, I observe things that others are experiencing, and for my time of observing them, I feel sad, which is the same thing as saying, I've joined their vibration. Yeah. I've allowed their vibration to be included in mine. In including the slower vibration, I've slowed my vibration. My level of vibration is now lower. I'm now not in full harmony with my source energy. And we say, you pay a great price for that empathy. You pay a great price for that sympathy.
And I'm not willing to go there. I'm not. So what you're saying is just continue to be working on bringing source energy through me, and don't worry about the rest.
Well, we want to go back to your earlier question, because you asked such a wonderful question. How can I be of value to them?
Yeah.
And we say, you be of value to them by being in alignment with your own energy stream.
Great.
You be of value to them by identifying what you want and finding a way to it, and identifying what you want and finding a way to it, and identifying what you want and finding a way to it. And it does not mean you're turning cold, calloused, calculated eyes toward. You're not mocking them. You create your own reality, and you're failing. What you're saying to them is, you are the creator of your own reality, and I am the creator of my own reality. And through determination, I'm able to hold a vibration that causes the universe to yield to me what I want. You see, you have one very powerful ally on your side, and that is law of attraction. Law of attraction is your consistent friend that makes it easy for you to teach. But if you're vibrating all over the place, and if you don't really know why good is coming to you, then you don't have anything consistent to teach to anyone. Don't you just love, every now and again, Jerry will see someone, and he will say, what a lovely role model that person is. What a lovely role model that person is. And what he means is, it is soothing to see this person who is in alignment with their own desires. It's just soothing to see that, because you just can't gaze upon that without holding that vibrational tone for a little bit, you see.
So I should trust that will continue to occur as I continue to vibrate.
Here's what we would say. We would say, there's no injustice. Everybody's getting a vibrational match to what they're outputting. And isn't it nice that when it happens to me, I'm now clear about how things are happening. And so each thing that happens, I'm able to shore up my vibration a little more. And isn't that nice that it's happening for others? And if anyone should ever ask me why I'm doing so well, I'll let them know that I just found a happy place and tried to hold it till more good stuff came, and then I tried to hold that happy place till more good stuff came. And I'll explain to them that through following bliss, more bliss comes. I'm happy to explain that to anyone who asks. Meanwhile, I think I'll just do my best to hold myself in that place so I have more access to those things and less access to those things.
That feels good.
Let law of attraction do the work. You see, that lets you off the hook a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In other words, this blasted law of attraction has brought me what I deserve again. Success, joy, fun, creativity. Oh, this law of attraction is bringing them. In other words, law of attraction is even-handed, you see. And so when you finally feel that and feel the clarity of that and the soothing of that, and then when they ask, let them know what you know about law of attraction. Let them know about what you know about the way they feel.
And can I attract, with that soothing feeling, my intention is to attract more people who are excited about life, having a great
time. That must be.
So that will occur.
And if that's not happening, it's because you're worrying about as much as you're doing that.
It's happening in most areas, but not
there's something that we want to give you here. You know, you can't teach what you don't know. And so as you hear these words and they make sense to you, and you know that the universe is responding to your vibration, and you know that the universe is responding to everyone's vibration, and you see someone really suffering, but you are still just mostly observing, and you have the good fortune of mostly having good things in your life. So as you observe those good things, life gets better for you, and as you observe those things, life gets better for you, and as you observe those things, life gets better for you. But this poor guy over here, he doesn't have the benefit of something positive to observe. In other words, he's got a bunch of negative stuff happening around him. Well, what we're getting at here is you have to stop and ask yourself, have I ever been in a situation where I was feeling negative emotion? In other words, that was the thing that was most dominant in my now. And I deliberately found a way to feel positive emotion in that moment without asking the circumstances to change first. See, what happens to most people, they get in a negative jam and somebody bails them out. It's usually your mother or your grandmother. Somebody bails you out. And so they don't teach you about aligning your energy. They teach you about getting in a jam and then somebody who's not in a jam bailing you out. So then what happens is when you see someone in a jam, now we're saying to you, it's not your job to bail them out. And now you don't know what to do with yourself because you've trained yourself to always try to be strong enough that you could bail somebody out, you see. So now what we're saying to you is, it would really serve all of you, you teachers, well, if you would practice getting yourself out of a funk. If you would practice shifting your vibration. If you would practice being in a place where you feel negative emotion and staying there with no conditions changing, and by your sheer will of changing the thought, finding a better feeling. Because only once you've done that for yourself can you begin to teach it to somebody else. You see, right. Until every now and again someone will come to one of our gatherings who has been practicing so many processes. In other words, they found all kinds of processes on their own, and they can hardly stand not to get hold of the microphone and just tell everybody all the things that have worked for them. That's the teacher in you, you see. You're wanting to express your success. And so what we're hearing from your question a bit is, I want to express my success, and I want to help them, but I don't want to step on their creative toes, and I don't want them to drag me off into their negative bushes.
Exactly.
And we say, you're not vulnerable. Nobody can drag you off into the negative bushes. In other words, you know about alignment. So what? If you spend some time with a friend trying to help them raise their vibration, and all that happens instead is they help you lower your vibration. All that shows you is that you weren't standing in as clear a place as you thought. And they've actually done you a pretty good favor, haven't they? They've given you a reason to learn to set your tone more clearly.
Great.
And so we would say you're all in this together. In other words, you've all gathered there. You didn't just end up in a place that is absolutely not in harmony with your vibration. You're there because it is in harmony with your vibration. Whether you came there with it, whether you observed it there, doesn't matter. We are not wanting in any way to teach you isolation. We're not trying to get you to separate yourself from anything that might bother you. We're wanting you to get so sure-footed that you can dive in anywhere knowing that all is well with you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Indeed. Right here.